Oh, Dragon
Yeah.
Ball, superhero. Here you have it really more focusing on Gohan and Piccolo. Goku and Vegeta are off training on the world of Lord Beerus. So it's mainly up to those two to save the world. This time from the old throwback villains from the Dragon Ball series, the Red Ribbon Army. This time, the Red Ribbon Army, they have recruited a new person to their ranks by the name of Dr. Hito. Dr. Hito, who's the grandson of Dr. Gero, an old time, also another old time kind of villain of the Dragon Ball series. Back there, he's the one that created the androids that people famously know, the android like 17, 18, and also Cell, which was a big villain from the Dragon Ball series as well. Here, so they recruiting this young kid, Dr. Hito, to make an android for them to fight these, to fight Capsule Corp, to fight these Z fighters as we know them, people like Gohan, Piccolo, Bulma, Krillin, and the rest of the gang, basically to fight them and to destroy them, basically accomplishing Red Ribbon's mission of taking over everything. That's what a lot of bad guys in Dragon Ball typically want to do. They either want to destroy the Earth or take it over, or both at the same time. Typically, that's kind of like what kind of usually the goal is there. So I brought on Davis here. Hey, how's it going there, Jake? Jake Hudson, how's it going there, man? So who is the Dragon Ball guy himself? He's a big expert on this. And he texted me after he saw the movie that kind of not some good words about the movie. Um,
No.
so I kind of want to give his thoughts on it, him being the big Dragon Ball guy that he is, and I'll chime in with kind of my thoughts throughout. But I'm seeing a lot of people, I think, for the most part, loving it. Really, I think I've heard a lot of generally positive reviews from people who are fans of the series, who went into this movie, came out of this movie with generally good thoughts on it. So I'm gonna let you kind of give your thoughts.
So I guess I could say to start the reasons that I start with why I liked it. I liked it in the beginning part of them setting the scene because to me they went back. So for people who don't know, the original Dragon Ball saga was really goofy. It was centered around like humor, like Goku falling on his head, having awkward moments with Bulma that was sexual, but she was like, "Oh no, you're just a friend," and him figuring out like the basic necessities of being a human being. You know what I'm saying? Because he came in as a baby, so it's like them going back to that goofy nature for me was a plus. The animation and the fight scenes of them breaking into different color barriers and all that was great. It was greatly done, greatly animated. I kind of like the 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 fact that they pay homage to the original Dragon Ball Z. Like there was a lot of subtle shots back to the original franchise that I don't know if a lot of people caught, such as what we could say the Red Ribbon Army in general, right? Because when they were explaining how who Dr. Nito was to Dr. Gero, they went down a family tree. We never knew Dr. Gero had kids in the original saga. So them paying homage and expounding on the original information made sense to me. And then the fact that they kind of like separated it from Cell having to eat two androids to become perfect to just creating perfect Cell from the beginning, where Cell Max, as he was called, it was greatly done. But what I didn't like Gohan's transformation at all. He looked like King Gohan Super Saiyan 2 in adult body.
Mm.
His hair was just really long. I didn't really like that. I didn't like the fact that he ended the fight with a special being cannon. Really didn't like that because
Oh,
we've already seen the special being cannon be nerfed. Like it's not as strong as it was when it went through Raditz. Like every other villain arc, the special being cannon was either swallowed away or died. So like to bring that back and make it seem like that was some finishing blow, I would have rather him brought back the Masako or you know what I'm saying, redid the father son Kamehameha in some other fashion and did it with Pan. You know what I'm saying? Like pass the torch to the next generation. I would rather that instead of them confirming what we already know that Piccolo is really Gohan's dad. And he will do a special being canon before he does a Kamehameha. You know what I'm saying? And I also the number one thing that I didn't like was them turning Piccolo into basically who Giant Slug was. For the adamant people of Dragon Ball Z movies, if you remember the movie when they want to get Slug, he was a giant Namekian who turned different colors and had the same abilities that Piccolo had. Piccolo turned giant in this movie and said he forgot that he could do this. You basically just turned my man's Piccolo into Slug, and then they made him orange. That was really it was really iffy about it. Like I was like, if you're gonna give my man another form, we could have did something. We could have did something better than that. But I get it that like they play at the names of it like the green, the orange pickle, the zucchini, and like because all the Z fighters are pretty much vegetables.
Right.
So it's like them playing that. Okay, cool, I get that. But it's like these are satirical part. But it's like for the true fans like me who want to see the new character shine. Like I'm tired of Goku and Vegeta being at the top. I feel like they could have did that so much better. Like Mystic Gohan was great. Like when I was in theater, when he first charged up and he had the white aura around his body when he was in Mystic Gohan, the fans clapped. We thought that this was going to be the new form. They were going to make it Mystic Gohan like actually powered up. And then he charged up again. His eyes went red. And we were like, okay, what's going on? And then look at it. We're looking at Teen Gohan in a dope body. And another thing I ain't like, the Gotenks thing. We finally see Goten and Trunks as teenagers.
Mm-hmm.
And we got a chance to see Gotenks as a teenager, something we've never saw before in any Dragon Ball Z.
Mm-hmm.
And y'all make them mess up the fusion dance, and now we get fat tanks. Like it was for the comedic value, but you could have gave some nostalgia for the hardcore fans. Like, yeah, mess it up at first, but then get it together like they did against Boo. It took them like 3 times to fuse right to fight Boo for the first time. So it was like give us something that we can actually hold on to, which is why I go to the post credit scene where Vegeta finally beat Goku in a one-on-one fight. Like clean, undisputed. Nobody could say nothing about it because every other time they fought, there was some outside variable that messed it up. Like in the original fight, to me, Vegeta beat Goku when he first came to Earth, but Krillin hit him with a spirit bomb and deterred the fight into the Z Fighter's direction. When Majin Vegeta fought Goku at the tournament, the martial arts tournament, Majin Buu intervened and stopped Goku from really taking that L because Vegeta was really giving them the business. And now we get this fight where we says all hand-to-hand combat, no ki blast, no transformations. Who is the superior fighter? The Prince of all Saiyans, Vegeta, like we've been saying all along. If you can't tell, I'm a heavy Vegeta fan. But
Okay.
it's like we've been saying that all along, that when it comes to natural fighting ability, Vegeta was trained to fight. Goku got trained by these regular Earthlings and who just knew martial arts. Vegeta was trained in same fighting. He should be superior naturally.
Okay.
Which is why I feel like him finally winning that fight kind of like solidifies what we've been complaining about all this time as Vegeta fans. Like, why can't we see him finally beat Goku and surpass him? And now that we've finally seen it, even though it was a post-credit scene, I'm satisfied personally.
Okay.
And then I like the subtle, like I said, the subtle satires, like Boma getting a BBL from Shogun. I like the fact that she was lying to Chi-Chi about where the kids was at the beginning, like those little subtle things. I like how they made Gohan a deadbeat dad, just like his dad was, because you learn how to parent from your parent. What else that was nicely poked fun at? The Red Ribbon Army goofiness and how they just be doing goofy stuff like Team Rocket vibe. Like I get Team Rocket vibe from Red Ribbon Army. Like no matter what, Team Rocket never gave up on that one Pikachu. Like it wasn't a million Pikachus, I don't think. And it's like to me, Red Ribbon just won't give up on this one kid that's been pretty much whooping on them for 30 years. Because Goku was what, like 5 or 6 when he came to Earth? And now we can say what? He's probably
And it's
closer
30s.
to 40. Right. I was gonna say probably closer to 40.
Yeah.
And it's like it's about time y'all let that go. But they just won't. So it's cool to see them come back. I like the superhero aspect. It was well done with Gamma and Gamma 2. That was well done. They were a little OP, but it was a good OP. Like it was worth watching OP. And I think to really wrap it all up, if it wasn't so much like the Cell games and like how that original storyline went almost with the addition of Pan, I feel like it would have been better for me personally. But because it was so much of just repeated information or stuff that we've already seen from the Dragon Ball universe, I didn't rate it that high personally. And my friends that I went with, we all had that same conclusion. Like, man, we feel like we just watched a summarized video on the Cell games pretty much. and then this modern day version.
Okay.
I know. Yeah.
Make some interesting points. I see what you're saying. And a lot of the stuff you're saying. I mean, you mentioned the special beam cannon that you didn't like that part. I kind of like that.
Mm-hmm.
And it does confirm what we already know. Like you said, I mean, Goku may be Gohan's father, but Piccolo is his dad. I mean, I
Yeah,
mean, that's
yeah,
always
for
kind
sure,
of
for
that's
sure.
kind of always a running joke amongst the Dragon Ball community. Watching the anime of just like the Piccolo really is his dad, and Piccolo and Gohan are two of my favorite characters from the Dragon Ball universe. So I always really liked their relationship, and seeing the opening of this, where you see Piccolo hanging out training Pan, who's the daughter of Goku and Gohan and Videl. I thought that was a sweet moment. I thought that was kind of cute.
Hmm. Yeah.
And I thought that was kind of adorable. And like you said, it also kind of does hammer home a lot of stuff that we've heard over and over again in the dynamic between Piccolo and Gohan, where it's like Gohan needs to be training more, you know what I mean, instead of always kind of focused on his regular job, and he needs to be doing more.
Schoolwork. Yep.
Yeah, doing that stuff. Who in this movie he's a biologist, which I didn't know. I never knew actually what he actually did. Always, I just he just was a big academic guy, always going to meetings and
Hmm.
everything like that. So I was like, oh, okay, he's a biologist. Oh, okay. Um, and he studies bugs and things like that. Yeah, and you see he's kind of maybe neglecting some of his stuff with his daughter and everything like that, much like Goku. Um,
Hmm.
but I did kind of like some of that kind of personal stuff that they kind of showed there, especially Piccolo's kind of interaction with everybody, especially the way he holds a
Yep.
phone, like he holds a phone like with his two fingers
Yep.
out like that, like
A true dad slash uncle for sure. Like
yeah,
that. That's how the dad that don't know how to FaceTime, definitely you're too close. And then it was definitely cute because they kept buying them like little plushies and all that type of stuff. Like it was definitely a cute moment for sure. But it's like, to me it shows like the value they hold in parenting in that show, because at Pan's age, Gohan could fly.
was he that young
If
when he
we
knew how to
remember,
fly? Because Pan is only
yeah,
like
kid go
3 here,
five.
5.
Oh,
Okay,
I think she was five. I think because she was in. Well, it could be four, three,
I think
four,
they say
five, something in that range.
she was 3. I think she said she was 3.
Okay, if she was three, okay, maybe I give you 2 more years. Because when Kid Gohan when he had the white thing scarf thing around his neck and he headbutted Raditz, he flew from the pod. When he bust out the pod and flew and headbutted Raditz in the stomach, he was flying. So it's like, okay, he had battle capabilities like Pan. She had self defense, and Piccolo was trying to train her to get the basics down before they win anything. It's okay. Yeah, taking pace to play Pan into the universe and make her relevant. Because to me, when they introduced her in the Resurrection Frieza movie, no, that wasn't Resurrection Frieza. That was when Beerus came to Earth and slapped Boma, the Battle of the Gods. That's what that was, the Battle of the Gods movie. And Videl was still pregnant with Pan, and they used her to create the first Super Saiyan gun. So it was like, okay, y'all introduced her, now they bringing it back because Pan was wrote off because GT is not canon.
right.
So it's like, to bring her back, I really appreciated that part. I appreciate that Piccolo was the grandfather to her in that manner. And it was like, okay, cool. He's keeping a legacy going. He trained Gohan, now he's training Pan. Vigel's doing whatever Vigel does because we don't know what she does neither. Um,
Yeah, she running around doing something, I guess. I don't know.
right, she do something because they were superheroes at one point when they were the Gray Sandman and the Gray Saiyan Woman. So, you know, when did you get time to go get a regular job? But I partially feel like that's in fact to Chi Chi, having such an important role in Gohan's life early because she made him like do the school stuff and not become, in her words, a delinquent. Uh, it was like, that's what kind of made Gohan that. I feel like if we're gonna accept Gohan for the strongest, like Piccolo was trying to tell, he has to give us more than beating Cell, because to me, Cell is his only body that I can really like give him.
And the direction with the characters, some people have complained about it, like after the Cell arc, the direction would go on. A lot of people were
Hmm.
disappointed with that. Are you one of those people that has
Hmm.
been heavily disappointed with the direction they take in Gohan?
Yeah, absolutely. I personally, I feel like at first I was for it. I was 100%. Like when it first happened and Teen Gohan was the thing, I'm like, okay, he's next. He's gonna take over for his father. Goku's dead. Gohan's gonna be that man. And then just it just never turned into fruition. Now, from what I've heard from like fans and that, it was because like in Japan they had took a poll. Who did you want to see as the face of Dragon Ball, Goku or Gohan? And everybody voted Goku, so that's how he wrote it. But it was like,
Mm,
if anybody, like as of right now, from everything we've seen, because of how they already placed Gohan in his room, I would like to see Trunks and maybe Goten take over the franchise.
mm,
And I only say that because one, who their fathers are and how the comparisons you can make to them. Because you can go an adult Gotenks would be prime time anime easily.
mm. Okay.
Because to see all that they've lived through since they were kids, and technically Trunks has lived two lives because he was there from time traveling Trunks and regular baby Trunks, and then all of the the forms transformations that they have now that they didn't have before. To see like a Super Saiyan God Gotenks would carry the franchise into a new, what I'm saying, a new era. If we really wanted to put it like, don't. It's too late to get Gohan to kids. We got to let that go as fans and just take it for Gotenks, Pan, um, Kessler, um, Kaba, all of the other young Saiyans from the other universe. So we're gonna keep seeing Goku turn different colors.
Mm. And
That's just the harsh reality I feel like we have to face as fans.
mm, okay. How did you like the animation of the movie for the most part? Because they're doing this kind of 3D animation, kind of with
Yeah,
Dragon Ball. How did you like the look of that?
I, I liked it. I liked it. If they could find a medium between the Broly movie animation and this movie animation, I would be pleased very much, because if like the part when like Broly was throwing key blasts against Gogeta, if you put that animation in the part where Gohan did that special beam cannon, I felt like I would appreciate it more. But it's like they're trying to find what animation works best, and I feel like they need to find a happy medium. But it was great. Like the colors was great, the fight scenes were great, the choreography for the fights was always it's always going to be a good hand to hand combat scene. I feel like that's needed in any Dragon Ball Z movie. We didn't really get too many key battles, like where it was two blasts clashing into each other. They were pretty much either canceling out or getting smacked away. I would love to see an animated key battle in that form, or key struggle, I guess. And the animation for their actual outfits, I didn't not outfits, skin tones, like when Piccolo and Gohan changed. Like I told you, those transformations were terrible to me. I didn't really like that animation so much. I feel like they could have did something better with that part. But as far as the overall movie, it was great. Shenron coming out the Dragon Balls was great. Um, the kind of more inside look to Beerus's world, because we only really see certain areas, but with that fight with Goku and Vegeta, we saw more of where they're actually training and sparring at. I kind of like how they opened that up for the animation and for the curiosity to really know what's going on. Because I don't know if you caught it, but they threw a little subtle jab that if Broly ever went on a rampage fighting, he already did and blew up a world. And if we remember, Beerus sneezed and blew up a world. So to me, it's like wherever Beerus is, his home has access to other worlds that we haven't seen yet. And to give us that open imagination, I kind of appreciate that in the animation aspect, because we never know what could come from that.
Mm, yeah. Um, with this series, I mean, you mentioned like some of the jokes before of how kind of some of that were
Mm-hmm.
callbacks to if you are a Dragon Ball fan, they do callbacks to
Mm-hmm.
tons of different stuff. Like even Gohan's transformation in this, where he reaches, what is his new transformation called?
Mm.
Uh,
It was like Beast Gohan or something like that. Like, I don't think that it's translated right in English. I feel like it's a different word in Japanese, and they just found the closest word.
mm,
That's personally what I feel like. So I feel like we're gonna get some explanation soon when he does it again, because I'm pretty sure in this next arc, the Ultimate Warrior arc, he's gonna transform again. I feel like we're gonna get an actual name for this transformation, because he's gonna have to show it to Goku and Vegeta, and they're gonna, well, what are you? And then he's gonna give the name for the transformation. You see what I'm saying?
right. Okay.
Mm.
So he transforms, does a new kind of transformation. A lot of people saying, remarking how
Mm-hmm.
it did, very much kind of was very reminiscent of the scene of when he went Super Saiyan 2 in the Cell arc. So kind of
Hmm.
different things like that. Some clunky things that I kind of didn't like was, I guess, if you are someone who maybe if you've never seen Dragon Ball before, coming into this movie, they try to give it in basic layman's terms to you of like, oh wait, your grandfather, you mean Goku, or they do
Hmm.
that. Or then when
Hmm.
Goten and Trunks show up, it's like, wait, you're Goten and Trunks, like, you know what I mean? Like,
Hmm.
Piccolo has known these kids like their whole lives, and he doesn't recognize
Their
them
whole
because
life.
they're teenagers. Like,
Let's talk about how he should have known their smell. If we remember, Piccolo's sense of smell is crazy.
yeah,
Sense of hearing is crazy. His key, with him seeing other keys, he should have identified their keys immediately. Just like Gohan should have identified his key when Piccolo had came to his crib with the other Red Ribbon guy and they tried to kidnap him. When they told him that he was like, "Oh, Piccolo, that was you the whole time." Like, what do you mean? How did you not sense his key?
well, I guess with Gohan, I guess you could say like he's been out of practice for a while. I guess.
Okay. Then that gives Gohan an excuse, but Piccolo has no excuse. He was sitting there meditating when Gamma attacked him.
Yeah, I mean Piccolo doesn't really have an excuse there because I just thought,
Mhm.
I guess that was just a way to, I guess if you've never seen any Dragon Ball stuff before, I guess it was just a
Mhm.
way to kind of bring those kind of people in, newer people.
Yeah. The
Um,
newer people who are just opening up their anime experience that haven't caught up on all of the what we would call OG animes. I feel like this was them like getting a intro into the Dragon Ball universe.
yeah,
And I feel like because now that like because anime used to be so taboo back then, so now that it's being more open and more people are giving it a chance, they were like, okay, well, we need to kind of set the scene for people who don't know who these characters are or why they're important.
yeah, yeah. So I thought that was just some kind of clunky. I thought that was kind of poorly done the way they kind of did some of those character
Hmm.
introductions there. Um,
Agreed.
yeah, so I thought that was kind of a shame. How'd you feel about the kind of newer characters here, Gamma One, Gamma Two?
I feel like they were well dressed for one. This is what I'll say because Dragon Ball Z is very simplistic when it comes to like actual apparel. So seeing some new kind of character designs, I kind of appreciate instead of just seeing somebody in a gi and some boots. Um, I liked the personality dynamics, making them seem like brothers. Like one was very serious and on top of everything, and the other one was goofy and not really paying attention to the little details. It kind of give that playful nature versus the big brother who's stern, And I really like how they built that character dynamic. I like how they made them superheroes because their maker was a child. It gives the aspect that yes, he's smart, I mean, at the end of the day, he's still a child. Just like when he kept indulging in the Oreos, dipping the Oreos in the milk, and they
Yeah,
had to coerce him by saying that these were the evil villains, even though in reality they were. But it was just the whole lighthearted aspect of that character design was great for me. Um, One thing I will say, the the fact that he used Jero's original Android designs, but they needed guns to fire key blasts was a problem for me. Um,
why was that a problem?
and because to me, if you use the original Android design, right, of 17, 18, 16, 13, um, then they should be able to shoot key blasts out their body because Cell Max had the same ability. He was shooting key blasts out of his mouth. So what did you put in Cell that you didn't put into Gamma 1 and 2? Because the key blasts that Gamma 1 and 2 shot were pretty much like those spamming key blasts that the Z fighters use whenever they don't have no moves. Like, whenever a Z fighter gets stuck, they just start spamming key blasts. Like that's the
All right.
equivalent that I feel like Gamma 1 and 2. Because when he shot it at Gohan, Gohan just smacked it away. And it's like that's what you do at those little pointless key blasts. And it's like, well, when you see Android 17 and 18 fight, their key blasts actually mean something. Like, yeah, they still get smacked away by certain characters, but the key blasts actually mean something. But he did segue and bring back Android Barrier, and Gamma One used Android Barrier when Gohan used that Kamehameha. That he didn't even say Kamehameha when he did it, but still, um, he used Android Barrier, which to me is one of the biggest. the biggest moves in the Android lifespan. Like whenever you see an Android use Android Berry, it makes you feel some type of way because it's like, oh, it takes you back to the games. It's nostalgic, you know, because Android Berry used to be cheese. If somebody used to overuse Android Berry, used to be upset. So it's like to see that brought back into Gamma 1 and 2 was great because we haven't seen that since the Tournament of Power. Um, the I guess you could say they're coming to their senses about who's really evil at the end. Like when they switch sides, I feel like that was too. What's the word?
Rushed.
Yeah, rushed. Like to come to the conclusion during a fight without it being something weird kind of made me upset because I felt like they could have did that better. Because like if we go back to the Broly movie, Broly didn't really turn up until Frieza killed his father. And then when Goku and Vegeta left, Broly like, wait a minute, didn't you shoot my daddy in the chest earlier? And then got to giving Frieza the business. You know what I'm saying? Realizing like, okay, Frieza's really a villain as well, and I shouldn't be paying this much attention to Goku and Vegeta, but he was already in rage for him, so it was over with. But now the fight's over, whose side is he on? He didn't go back to the Frieza Force. He stayed with Goku and Vegeta. You know what I'm saying? He's training and trying to learn how to be a Saiyan. So I feel like having, I don't know, somebody like Boma or Krillin or somebody else convert Gamma 1, Gamma 2, or Pan even to the light side would have made it better. Because yeah, they were upset that they kidnapped her, but you know, if Pan would have made them like, you know, she would have almost fell into a hole or almost got hit by a stray key blast or something, and Gamma 1 and Gamma 2 saved them. And that's when they did the switch. I would have went crazy when that happened.
Mm.
It just would have made more storyline sense for me.
Yeah, I had an issue with that. I just thought it happened way too fast. So they were convinced that, you know, that quickly in the middle of the fight that, you know, they just switched sides, which is also a very big Dragon Ball thing, you know, typically of like villains switching sides and becoming good guys eventually after their fight with the heroes. You know, it typically kind of happens. The third act of the movie I did like quite a bit. You're going to get the big Dragon Ball battles that you're looking for. I thought the use of color was very, you know, very very great when they were fighting Cell, iPhone Ultra Pro Max.
Right.
I thought that was pretty cool. And great use of color there, which was pretty nice. And Gohan, I mean, you know, him, you know, reaching that power level, you know, was cool to see. It really was. I thought that was really great to see. So where do you think going forward, what they're going to do with maybe Gohan and Piccolo and maybe some of the other characters?
Well, based off of what like has already been, like, I guess you could say like leaked or whatever, the next arc is gonna be basically centered around the stronger characters in the series, which will be like Goku, Vegeta, and Broly. So I honestly feel like they will forever be background characters that get shine against the mid tier villains. Like I just feel like that they're typecast at this point to be right where they are as characters. Like I don't see them getting any power boosts. Like Piccolo has to use the Dragon Balls to get a power boost. Like if he gets another transformation after this, it's just like where's this coming from? You know, and then Gohan, you got your rage transformation, and now you're at whatever this form is going to be called, Super Saiyan Beast or whatever you want to call it. Kind of like, okay, what we have nothing else for you. Like we have no reason for you to get stronger because what did he say himself in the movie? If somebody comes back, my dad and Vegeta will handle it. It's
Yeah.
like they wrote Goku. I mean, they wrote Gohan off themselves. Like they already pretty much, you know, worked it out themselves.
Yeah. But I mean, at the end, he did say he should continue training, you know, to protect
Yeah,
family.
but it's like we've been hearing that for however long.
Yeah, it's like Goku and Vegeta, they got it. You know, everybody just
Yeah.
kind of just stands there, head looking up. You know what I mean?
Yep.
Watching them fight, like it's Jordan Peele's
And
Nope and everything like that, just looking up.
mm-hmm. and and the introduction of Broly makes it so much more better. Because now there's a new, I guess you could say, power scale. Because you know Broly doesn't have Super Saiyan 2 or 3 or 4 or God or Blue or nothing like that. He just goes legendary Super Saiyan, and the madder he gets, the stronger he gets. So it's like
Mm.
introducing him as his regular form Super Saiyan, kept up with Super Saiyan Blue, Goku, and Vegeta separately. That just changes the power scale even more because now when they go Ultra Instinct, Ultra Ego, God of Destruction, and all of that, what is Broly gonna do to counteract that? Or what is the new villain gonna do to counteract that? Depending on whoever it is. But from what I'm thinking, that's gonna happen. The villain is gonna be Magnolia, and if it is Magnolia, he's pretty much equal to where Goku and Vegeta are now. So someone, whether it's Broly, Gohan, Piccolo, or maybe even Frieza or Majin Buu, will have to come in and be the deterrent for them to win in the fight. So my prediction would be a third party. Like they're going to be third party characters from this point forward.
Mm. Okay. All right. So how do you feel about this movie compared to the recent kind of Dragon Ball movies we got, like Broly? I heard Broly. I haven't watched it myself, but I heard that was very, very good. Dragon Ball movie, or something like Resurrection F or Battle of the Gods. Like, how would you kind of put this in the recent kind of Dragon Ball movies we have?
This to me is at the bottom of what we've got in the last, I'll say, what, 2 years, maybe 2, 3 years. This is to me, this is the bottom. The best by far is the Broly movie by far.
Mm.
And them making Broly canon was great. And they changed his storyline from him really just hating Goku because Goku cried a lot. Because in the original story, Goku wasn't even there that long because Bardock went and got him and sent them off as soon as he got back to Planet Vegeta. So it was like Broly being upset that Goku cried a lot didn't really play into the story. So I'm happy they changed it. Um, I like everything about that movie. Like if I had one complaint about the Broly movie, it'll probably be that it was too short.
Mm. Okay.
Um, like they really wrapped up the fight with the Dragon Balls and didn't really let us have a conclusion between Gogeta and Broly, uh, which was a little cliffhanger, but that's cool. The Resurrection F movie against Frieza was great. It was a great introduction to Super Saiyan Blue. It was well animated. The camera angles were crazy when they were turning blue for the first time, and like you kind of seen it float over their skin. It gave me Danny Phantom going Ghost vibes, like when he first started to go Phantom. Like that's how the camera angles looked when they went Super Saiyan Blue, and I really, really appreciated that. I appreciate them showing the fickleness of Frieza and like how we took the time back just for them to beat him again, pretty much.
Mm.
The Battle of the Gods movie was a great introduction to Beerus and Whis. It showed the dynamic that no matter how much Vegeta complained, he he still loves his family, and it was well wrote, well fought out. It was great fight scenes. The only complaints I really have about that one is I wish we would seen more of Beerus's arsenal instead of him really just sparring with them, like really using them like a key blast or something like that. We pretty much just saw the God of Destruction powers, and it was like, okay, that's cool. We get it. You're OP. I wish we would have got some more for that.
Mm.
And this movie, like I really said, like I really just felt like I rewatched the Cell games modern day version, and I just really didn't. I didn't really feel like it gave us that much towards the Dragon Ball universe. Like this movie gave us nothing for the future of Dragon Ball Z. Every other movie gave us something. Like at the end of the Frieza Resurrection F, we knew that he was in hell and they were torturing him the whole time. And at the end of Battle of the Gods, we knew that Goku was going to train because he had finally achieved Super Saiyan God. At the end of the Broly movie, we knew that at some point Goku was going to go back and find Broly. And what did we get from this one?
Vegeta W, I guess.
I mean, yeah, and that was, like I said, that was the post-credit scene. So that wasn't even really like a part of the story. So it's like I really feel like this one was more for to welcome new members of the fan base and not for the hardcore fans of the fan base, which is why.
Mm. So we want to give I'll give a final rating for it. So our rating scale is, so this is cinema is our highest rating. Then we have tune in, which is below that. Then we have a tune out. Then we have a skip it. We have a burn it. We have a stream it, which is like a rental. And then we also have a waste of fucking film, which is the lowest rating you can give it. So out of that
Okay.
out of that scale, what would you give Dragon Ball Super
Uh,
superhero?
I'm teetering. What was right under tune in? Tune
We're
out.
right on the tune in. You can go like low tune in, high tune in, or tune out.
I'm thinking like low tune in is where I am because like if you for this like cinema, like just off strictly like it being in theaters, if this was your first Dragon Ball movie, I don't think you will watch another.
Mm.
If you are just what do you call those, a lackadaisical fan of the franchise, then you will watch another one based off this movie because it gave you just enough to keep you interested.
Hmm.
The hardcore fans, I feel like the people who like argue this and live, eat, breathe Dragon Ball Z, I feel like they didn't like it. It's kind of like almost where I am with it. I can appreciate certain things, but I really give it like mid tier. Like it was really a mid movie for me.
Mm. Interesting. For me, I mean, I thought there was a lot of cool moments in it. I like the core, making it about Gohan and Piccolo, and kind of their relationship. I appreciated that, and I thought that was pretty sweet. And I thought kind of some of the jokes kind of worked for me. The cuteness of it, like with Pan, and then
Mm-hmm.
seeing her with Piccolo was very sweet.
Mm-hmm.
Seeing Gohan go and try to get Pan when she gets kidnapped, I thought was a good moment. Yeah, there's some, I complain about the clunky parts of it, some of the stuff with the introduction of some of the characters. The villain stuff was okay. I mean, they're fine, I guess, nothing really too spectacular there. So for me, I would give it, I mean, I was in a theater, it was a pretty full theater.
Mm-hmm.
And seems like people were liking it. They were pretty going in on it. It was funny. There was some good moments, like when they go to like when they were training. You see at the beginning of Goku and Vegeta train with Lord Beerus on his planet, and Lord Beerus looks at a woman, and then it was funny. Somebody in my crowd went, "Oh damn, Lord
Yeah.
Beerus about to smash." Somebody
Mm-hmm.
said that in my
Yeah,
crowd.
like those type of moments. Yeah.
Or the moment where like Bulma, she's like bending over and like looking for the Dragon
The butt
Ball.
lift from Shenron. Yep.
Yeah, there's some kind of funny kind of
A
moments
lot
like
of
that. Uh,
satirical. Yeah, for sure.
but yeah, so for me, I would give it a tune in. For me, just a middle kind of tune in for me. Just as a person who's kind of coming, I guess I would say I'm maybe an average fan of this Dragon Ball stuff. I'm not super hardcore into it or anything, but I'm an average fan, I guess I would say
Yeah.
for me. So I guess it'd be just a tune in for me. But